Hey everyone, we are back with more Deadly Premonition. I probably shouldn't have left you guys on the skateboard like that, but that's why I ended up just muting it. We just got some.
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say, but that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right?
Alright, where are we headed story-wise? Because it's almost midnight, so we should probably go sleep, to be honest. I don't actually know where the story wants us to go. Other than 4,000 feet this way. I think we should go over to the Casa Pineapple there and sleep. At least until 8. It does kind of feel like we're getting close to the end, but we're only in chapter 2, I think. So unless there's only like 3 chapters in the game, which I guess is possible if they just name the like Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Yeah, we don't have to go far for this, so I'm just gonna go sleep until after midnight, or till about 6 a.m., 7 a.m. We gotta change our clothes too, or else we are the stink. Three acts is pretty common in plays, yeah. So what I'm thinking is if they just called the acts chapters, and there's probably only gonna be 3. Because normally a game that has chapters has like a ton of them. I remember Tripe was playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth, and he's like on chapter 14 or something. He's like, "God damn, how many chapters does this game have?" And I was like, "Let me look it up." And I was like, "This game has 34 chapters." He's like, "What?" And the game only has like 17, I think. But I told him 34 just because.
And that's what I'm. You can't get. So make.
All right, can I just say I'm actually really enjoying the story here.
Thanks, miss. Next time.
The gameplay leaves something to be desired. The bosses are still better than the first game, though. Like, Lena and Galena are easy. Can I just say, Leonard, why did you pick Lena as your name when your sister's name is Galena? I guess he picked Helena as his full name, but just Helena and Galena isn't that surprising considering family often use names like that. Sherry, Terry, Harry, Barry, Gary. The third chapter of this game is just fetch quests and bowling. That was the second chapter. Don't worry, Patty. I just had a nap before I decided to show up to help. Aiden, Jaden, Braden, Ninja Game. You know what? If I ever have children and if my significant other wants to name the kid Aiden, Jaden, or Braden, we're naming one of them Ninja Gaiden. Hey, Patty. Come on.
Did you find Melvin?
Nope, I can't find either of them.
Either who?
Either of them?
Yeah, when I went home, it wasn't just my daddy who was missing. Mama was gone too.
Did you take her to the
This
hospital?
never happened before.
Zach. We need to stop Professor R's plan no matter what it takes. Relax, Patty. You don't need to worry about a thing. I'm sure that Melvin just stumbled across an important clue that's stolen his attention for now. And I'm sure he's protecting your mother while he's at it. Let's just leave the investigation to the local police and rest for today. I need to prepare a report for the HQ anyway. How about staying with me in my room until we find them?
But...
You don't need to worry. I can't make you any homemade food, but I've got a first-class chef and a first-class concierge at my disposal. Oh, and a very affable bellboy. It's a lot of fun at that hotel.
But... Okay, I guess. Thanks, Agent York.
You're a lady, so you take the bed. Zach and I will be fine on the couch.
Man, 2005 was a different time. How many bullets do I have? We have lots of bullets. Grab a couple more, just in case. Fucking 40 cases of 50 rubber bullets. Holy crap. Oh, fuck.
So you clearly love TV shows, but what about movies?
Movies? We don't even have a movie theater around here, so I can only watch what I manage to catch on TV.
Like what?
For some reason, the only movie channel we get at home is the...
Heard that dialogue. And now we're taking her back to the hotel to sleep again. Ended up not being worth it, but at least I got a nice fresh change of clothes out of it. Okay. York's a very sleepy dude. He works hard. He works hard for his money.
Zach, the Clarkson family tree is nothing like we thought it was. We need to reorganize everything we've uncovered so far. She was so tired she fell right to sleep. Hey, Zach, I'm in a very difficult spot right now. I feel like this case is heading in a direction that will be extremely unpleasant for her. I've never felt anything like this during any of our cases thus far.
Evidence organization start.
First, let's go back to the beginning. Lise Clarkson's body was found hanging under a bridge over the bayou, in a deserted spot close to where the bayou meets the Mississippi. The one who fired the pistol at Heaven surely had no idea what he would find there. Speaking of which, Zach, Chuck, the man who started this race we're running, what's his occupation?
Skateboard workshop owner, pro bowler. He's a crawfish.
That's
farmer.
right. He's a crawfish farmer. And after chasing a poacher's boat that crossed over into his farmland, he went up the bayou and was fortunate enough to find Lisa's body. I doubt it was a very pleasant experience for him. But if not for his discovery, Lisa's body might have started rotting out there. He's a difficult person to be sure, but I don't think he's a bad guy. Chuck said something peculiar. He claimed the Clarksons were a little better when their son was still around. I don't know exactly what he meant, but we ended up meeting the person he was talking about, didn't we? Under very unexpected circumstances. Leonard Clarkson. He ran away from home. found his true self, then changed names. So, Zach, do you remember her name?
Yeah, Helena Doman. What
Helena
does Doman
Doman.
mean? Or Doman?
The townspeople call her Lena. She was also known as Professor R while she plotted against the Clarksons. She's the mother of the new drug known as Sang Rouge. She must have also had a group of followers who worshipped her fanatically. I can see it now. Lena sprinkling down the red powder, corrupting every last pure and innocent girl in town.
That was also the MO in the first game, if you guys recall. Going after the women in town.
Lena mentioned her plan each time we met. She must have taken us for utter fools, Zach. She thought she was always one step ahead of us, and that we'd never see the full scope of her plan. Well, her plan isn't complete yet, and I know we can still stop it. That's why we need to learn all we can about her. Her alias was Professor R, and she was well learned in the areas of medicine and fire dynamics. By the way, Zach, do you remember what weapon Lena used to murder PJ?
Poisonous gas, a machete and an axe, miniature bomb.
Correct. She used a miniature bomb. To tell you the truth, she surprised me. That bomb was so well placed. It left hardly any damage on the building itself, yet still did amazing work on them. Lena should have used that brain of hers for something more productive than that saga of revenge. For example, reviving Lucare's economy from the industrial sector. Widen your perspective, and you'll see that Louisiana is an industrial treasure trove. With her intelligence and her charisma, I'm sure she would have found some amazing opportunities. Such a tragedy. Zach, there's one more important matter we need to think about here. Galena Clarkson, who was murdered in jail. Her body was dismembered, then rearranged into a V shape. Patty and Melvin claimed it was a severed roots killing. But that doesn't make sense to me, and PJ Clarkson disapproved of it when I met him in the other world. He saw Galena's parts lined up and was overcome by an inexplicable fear. Tell me, who killed Galena?
I guess if I have to pick...
Unfortunately, we don't have the answer to this one yet. And it's too big a problem to solve with mere speculation. The answer to this question may lead to a major turning point for this case, and the final turning point for this story. You know, I only hope it doesn't push us down an avenue we didn't plan on exploring.
Candy could have. Nobody would have expected her going in. Patty could have. Buck's eldest daughter, unknown.
Hey, Zach, do you remember PJ's last words? Lena had intercourse with her older sister. Her own flesh and blood. This means there's still one more person out there who inherited PJ's blood.
It's Stooge's Jazz Club.
Oh, fucking poachers, now I gotcha. Caught you red-handed.
Fucking poachers. I like his accent. What? Okay, well, I'm almost 100% convinced that that was Candy. What with Melvin's hand, presumably Melvin, his hand being on the machine there. But why does she sound like a child? Well, the men are mostly naked and the women are fully clothed. Hey, hey, got rank S. Sick, I'm the best at this. Machine damages is excessive force. 15 squirrels. I have many questions as well, so let's see if those are answered.
Soon. I'm almost there. Just... Please, someone. Stop.
Is it gonna be like a miniature Candy in the bassinet? Oh no, just liquid. Okay. I'm not sure that's her real name, but it could be.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Let me try and summarize this. Helena Doman was the mastermind behind the entire incident. But Helena Doman was actually P.J. Clarkson's son, who had severed ties with the family. Helena was also known as Professor R, the mother brain behind the drug known as Sang Rouge.
Mother brain!
That's right.
She was responsible for everything?
Not everything, but most of it. Almost everything went according to her plan.
But if you'd already figured out that much, why did you continue to stay in Le Carré?
Because we had to.
You had to. Whatever for.
The goddess was still there.
The goddess.
The goddess of fertility.
Lise Clarkson's body.
Not her. She was as beautiful as a goddess, but she wasn't the goddess. She was just a tragic victim.
Then who is the goddess of fertility?
The person at the root of this case.
Is it some kind of metaphor? For example, the vast wealth that the red powder yielded.
The goddess of fertility embodied abundance on the outside. But on the inside, she was a hollow void. And that void was threatening to swallow up all of Le Carré. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Are you okay, Mr. Morgan? Morgan almost sounds like a prophet talking about the end of the world. Vague, elusive, and intent on deceiving those who listen. But every now and then he adds an interval of truth. Patricia Clarkson is one of those. She's something special. Something irreplaceable to him.
Simon went to the bathroom in the last one and hasn't come back yet, I guess.
Instead of kicking your floor, perhaps it'd be wiser to invest in a soundproofing mat.
Are you irritated, Belle? Yes, of course you are. You think we lack a common human trait, and that bugs you. We're crazy. Human refuse. That's how we look to you, isn't it?
I would never go that far, but you did surprise me. Just doesn't seem like the kind of attitude one should display when in the company of others.
Yes, we're sorry. We agree with you. It just made us remember a time when that noise kept ringing out, and we couldn't stop it. That flight from Newark Liberty to Seattle Tacoma, it was the first flight we took as FBI agents. The plane was shaking violently due to turbulence, and when we looked to the side, we saw a young mother cradling a baby with a frightened look on her face. We got worried. So then, the baby started crying. It was so loud. We couldn't resist plugging up our ears. And since it was so loud, the rest of the passengers started glaring at us. At first, the mother and I waved our hands, trying to quiet down the baby, but our efforts were in vain. It never stopped crying. The more our anxiety levels rose, the louder its cries grew, shrill and piercing, as if they were heralding the apocalypse. We were powerless, and the baby's mother was helplessly bewildered. Once the plane landed safely in Tacoma, the baby finally stopped crying. We heaved a sigh of relief and looked at the mother. Then she said, "Whose child is this?" We were shocked. So we asked her what was going on. Apparently, sometime after she boarded the flight, that baby randomly appeared on her lap. Then it ordered her to call me over and kept sitting there as if nothing was wrong. Can you believe that, Belle? Bizarre, isn't it? While we were talking, the baby disappeared. The being responsible for all that loud, grating noise simply disappeared without a trace. Ever since then, whenever I hear a baby crying, I remember that bizarre experience. Well, what do you think, my fairy? Was it some sort of sign?
Interesting.
The logs in the center look far more burnt compared to the rest. Almost looks like they were used in conjunction with some kind of accelerant. Did you recently burn something there?
It's our fireplace. We're free to use it as we please.
I see traces of resin, which leads me to believe you burned up some sort of toxic substance. It doesn't matter what kind of fireplace you have. Burning anything other than firewood in it is dangerous. Next time, don't burn it up at home. Dispose of it like you would any other non-burnable refuse, especially if it was something like a smartphone or a USB memory stick.
Non-burnable refuse like a smartphone? Let's be serious here, Belle. That's exactly the sort of data one needs to thoroughly immolate. Remember what you learned at Quantico.
Yeah, Vector, remember what you learned at Quantico.
By the way, you're still searching for Patricia, yes?
You don't need to worry about that.
He's probably in his bedroom.
We're investigating. In fact, we've almost reached our goal. We just need to find some conclusive evidence.
Oh, we sincerely hope that's the case. Hard to believe, though. After all, so far you've just been barking up the wrong tree.
Barking up the wrong tree.
That's right. You shouldn't be wasting time here. You should be out there, looking for her.
Then I'll just ask you straight away. Do you know where she is?
No, but we can feel her when we close our eyes and become one with the world. It's very faint, but we can see her. We can see Patricia.
Are you trying to distract me again? Or do you really expect me to believe you're clairvoyant or something?
What do you think we are, X-Men? It's metaphysical offender profiling.
He actually asked me where Patricia is? Does he have full confidence that we'll never find her? Fine. I can deal with that. I'll just ask him everything I can about the Le Carré case. This square area enclosed by milk cartons. Is it another sanctuary? The more I look around, the more I feel like there's some sort of system to all this. The sanctuary on this table. The fireplace sanctuary. And the milk carton sanctuary. They all lead into the room back there. And there's one more by the window, and yet another by my feet. Are they signs? Or is this all some sort of path?
Hey, Belle.
Of course it is.
Sorry, I don't know why it's double.
We're drying them out. We line the milk cartons up to dry them out, so we can turn them into Halloween decorations.
Halloween? It's only January.
This is America, land of the free. Got a problem with that? By the way, how did the FBI find Lisa's body? After 14 whole years.
That's none of your business.
Are you saying they just happened to be investigating the Clarksons' cold storage warehouse by pure chance that there was some undercover terrorism plot afoot there?
I said it's none of your business.
Well, then we'll just have to guess. It was an anonymous tip, a tip related to Sang Rouge. Did we hit the nail on the head, Belle? But that's not what we want to know about. After all, the FBI gets hundreds of tips every day. Right, my fairy? It was always that way, even back when we were on duty. Here's what we really want to know. Why, out of all those tips, did you select that one? Would you tell us that much? Belle, what urged you to make a beeline straight for this case?
That's none of your business.
He might have a relation to Le Carré.
So you think Galena was murdered by Helena Doman, her own brother?
No, not her. Galena was someone else.
Then who killed her?
It's written in the report, isn't it?
Yes. But I'm asking you, would you mind answering me in your own words?
Wasn't the reports his own words?
You see, I find your entire story highly suspicious.
It's a complicated matter, extremely complicated.
Don't let him draw you into his game. Stay calm, Aaliyah Davis.
Wandering Aaliyah. Alright, okay.
The future influences the present just as much as the past. You asked me why I spent an entire 2 days observing you before I came to speak with you. Well, here's why. Over those 49 hours, I observed the intervals between your actions, when you were neither doing something nor doing nothing. I intently studied your intervals between action to action, and action to inaction, to action. People reveal everything during the intervals between their actions. For example, when you eat alone versus eating with someone else. The most prominent differences always appear when someone either begins or finishes eating a meal. And since these are unconscious actions, they can't be consciously hidden. When you prepare to eat or finish eating, when you move in to clean up, when you pick up a book or close one, when you raise a cup of coffee to your lip. Human actions speak volumes. Not even the person doing the actions is conscious of them. That's what lies in those intervals. That's my modus operandi. And here's the conclusion it helped me reach. There's one other person in this house, isn't there?
You're incredible, Bill. You outdid all our expectations. Impressive, to say the least. You're right, Bill, but only half right.
Half?
You should still be proud, though. Honestly, we never thought you'd make it this far. You've got real talent.
Most of what you say is disjointed and illogical. If this goes to court, I won't let you claim that your testimony is inadmissible just because of your little indulgence there.
Fine by us. We can even put it in writing if you want. We won't run or hide. Will we, my fairy? Where's the paper? I know I had it around here somewhere. Where is it? Oh. We're fine.
Hey, everything okay? What's going on out here? Oh, don't tell me.
He's just suffering from nausea. I was more worried about you. You were in there for quite some time.
Yeah, sorry. Ever since you got here, I've been all backed up.
Mr. Morgan, can you stand?
Oh. Is this a sign from the coffee? What could it be? What is it trying to tell me? Think.
Is that a dragonfly?
Footsteps. Big footsteps.
The giant. That still hasn't been answered, by the way.
Footsteps.
Some odd fella was following her around. Stalking her like.
That poor girl, Lise, she was a druggie, and she was into the really bad stuff.
The Red Soul has the power to amplify the unique characteristics we all possess, mentally and physically. That's why I created the Holy Red Powder.
She wasn't 10 feet tall, though, but she doesn't necessarily
You
have
okay?
to be.
Hey.
We're fine. Just feeling a little tired. Would you take us to get our medicine?
Sure. It's in the bathroom, right?
See, I don't think it's Kaysen, but I do think Kaysen is involved in this case because we know he was involved in this case. Just not as directly as he was in Greenvale. He's the one who gave the seeds. We know that. But I don't think he's directly involved.
Seems like he's calmed down a little. We should let him rest for a while.
One more step and I could have cornered Morgan. But so be it. I can still keep investigating even if the owner of this chair isn't present. Simon Jones, what a piece of work. How can anyone have such bad timing?
Those are the key ones.
What's wrong, Aaliyah? You hungry or something?
Excuse me? What are you insinuating?
Well, you're staring right at an empty pizza box.
Please don't compare yourself to me. Besides, I have a refined palate.
Hey, That was uncalled for. Pizza is a sacred food, remember? You don't need to feel embarrassed for being unable to stop staring at it. It enthralls all who gaze upon it. That's the power of pizza.
Stop, Agent Jones. I've had enough of this sacred pizza bit. I'm sick of you Chicagoans and your obsession with pizza.
Oh, he's a Chicagoan, 10 gauge.
Pizza, pizza, pizza. 24 hours a day. That's all you ever talk about. What's next? You gonna launch into a tirade about how deep dish is the only proper way to make pizza?
No, Aaliyah. You just don't get it, do you? As a Chicagoan, I'm proud of the deep dish pizza. But get this. I love New York-style pizza, too. It doesn't matter what kind of pizza it is. As long as it's a pizza, it's beautiful. What? Still don't get it? Okay, here. I'm gonna put it in terms that I'm sure even you could understand. All pizzas are created equal. Eat your heart out, Nietzsche.
Just forget I mentioned anything.
Okay. Give me a quick sec, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and then we got about 30 minutes left to stream for today, so don't go anywhere. It's getting interesting.